Speaking of power play time, we're seeing Jake Sanderson, I think, ascend to the top of the power play units here. I think we're seeing Jake Sanderson maybe assume it's tough to say he's the number one D when you have Chychrun and Chabot on your left side as well, but he's done a pretty good job. Like, do we think that he's the number one D on this team right now?
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to say that about him. But he's close. And here's the thing about that top power play unit: you don't have to be much as the defenseman there. You just have to get the puck to the flanks. You have to walk the middle, and you have to be a threat to shoot. Outside of that, you're kicking that puck wide, and you're letting those guys go to work because they move it so well. So that's the easiest position to play in the power play right now. You just have to dictate which side of the ice the puck is going to and let those guys work, below the top of the circle. So honestly, I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and say, anybody else can run it, but I do think that he is, with Shabby out, I think he's probably your best option. I like the fact that Chychrun can go in and have that bomb from the point that keeps teams accountable and holds the middle of the ice more. But yeah, Jake just walks the middle of the ice so well and dictates which side that puck is going to, that he's a very, very good fill-in. I'm just not ready to give up on Shabby being up there because I think the guys have a lot of trust in him at the top to really settle things down.
Yeah, and this is the dangerous thing. This is the dangerous thing when you anoint players after a very small sample size. The thing about playing in the NHL is you have to consistently prove let's say you're a number one defenseman. It's just not based over 3 weeks. It's not based over 6 months. You got to keep doing it. And Craig Ramsey, one of the best coaches I ever had, he used to say all the time, he goes, guys, the hardest thing isn't getting to the NHL, it's staying in the NHL. And for this point, obviously, there's no threat of either player losing their job in the NHL, but it's remaining consistent over time. And for these players, at a high level. Do I think Sanderson's going to drop off? No, I don't. But I want to see him continue to play over time consistently at this high level. Listen, Tyler Myers won the Rookie of the Year his first year. He's had up and down, and for whatever reasons, injuries, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's going to happen with Sanderson. I think he's going to be a premier defender in the league. I hate to anoint guys based on very small sample sizes. This is his first year in the league. I think right now, the way he's playing probably better than the rest of the defensemen. Not that the others are playing poorly. I just think his level right now is extremely high. He's defending great. He's got all kinds of confidence. He knows the coaches love him. He's playing great. Jakob Chychrun, he's been great as well. And I'll say this, probably some adjustment time, getting used to a new city, all that. I think you could put any three of those guys on that power play because of this. And here's the thing. Ottawa's flanks are so talented. Tkachuk is so good in front of the net, and Batherson's so good in that position. And then you can put Giroux out there, whoever. Those forwards just know how to create time and space. They're so good. So for a defenseman, not that it's not hard, but you just have to make smart, clear, precise plays with the puck. I'd say probably the toughest thing on that power play is making sure you get your entry. Because once you get your entry, it's actually not. It's one of the easier power plays to play the point on because the forwards they take it down low, they suck guys down with them, then they pop it back up to the point. Then the defenseman usually has a high percentage play to make. The one thing I will say though, I love Chychrun's wrist shot / snapshot. He gets it away really fast, and there is a lot of velocity on it. So he could be there too. But again, that's what I said earlier. This is the thing with coaching. You got to figure out which guy gives your best power play the best time. And right now, Jake Sanderson's working, so why change it? All right? Exactly. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Nope. Don't mess with what's going on.
Just an interesting note. Thomas Chabot averages 3 minutes, 51 seconds of power play time, and Jake Sanderson 2:12. And I know it's changed recently, but they both have the same number of assists. Shabby's got 3 more goals.
And listen,
just an interesting.
Wally, one thing.
In fact,
What
yeah.
one more thing on Chabot. And here's the thing. People have seen him for so long now, right? So he scores that beautiful goal the other night. He comes in, Giroux feathers it across. People don't make a big deal of it because they're like, oh, well, it's Thomas Chabot.
Right.
That's what he's supposed to do. Nobody's praising him. Nobody's going, ooh, ah. If Jake Sanderson makes that play, he's new, he's fresh. It's like, we're probably talking about that for 2 weeks, right? I don't think anybody really made a big deal of that goal by Chabot because they're like, as soon as he made a defensive play, everyone started shitting on him again. So
Yeah, exactly.
like it's he's become the whipping boy right now, right? I saw it happen to Wade Redden. I've seen it happen to Kravchuk for guys from my era. It's whatever. He's going through something right now. We'll see. It's hockey is about being consistent over long periods of time.
Well, we tried to trade Chris Phillips every year for about 10 years.
Right?
Cody CC, we did the same thing. Yeah. So it happened. If you're a high-end D, it seems like you are targeted always, unless you're like Cale Makar. But even we could go to Larry Murphy for that. We always go back to Larry Murphy, but you get run out of town and then you start winning Stanley Cups.
Yeah. If you make a lot of money, if you make a lot of money, and your point with Philly, like Wade Redden made a lot of money when he played. As soon as he was gone, just they're on to the next guy. It's just, hey, it's the nature of the game. That's how fans are, right?
Next man up.